Alright, so let's begin the show and let's get connected with our viewers. But before that, as an expert today, I'm joined by Hemant from Wiseinvest. Hemant, good evening and welcome to the show. I also have our very first viewer connected on the phone line with us, Mr. Preet. Hi, good evening. Preet, you're calling from?
I'm coming from Kolkata.
All right. Thank you so much for sending us your question. Preet, as for the details sent by you, you are investing in Nippon Small Cap, Quant Small Cap, Motilal Mid Cap, Axis Mid Cap, Edelweiss Mid Cap, HDFC Flexi Cap, Murray Large Cap, Kotak Blue Chip. You also have Invesco Multi Cap, HDFC Defense. I just want to understand what's the time horizon for this particular investment, these funds that you've accumulated. You have planned to invest for how many years? Any financial goal that's attached to this particular investment?
Yeah, I'm investing in mutual funds for last almost 7-8 years. There are few mutual funds which we have started a couple of years back, which is basically my wife's portfolio. As in, if you see Nippon Small Cap, the Invesco, the Axis Mid Cap, the Murray and the HDFC. This year I'm investing for last almost 5 years. Huh?
All right. So how long are you going to be investing in these funds? For how many more years now?
It's a long, another 10 years.
More 10 years. Any specific financial goal that's attached with this portfolio? Any special corpus that you want to accumulate?
Around 2 crore.
Sorry?
Yeah, I'm looking at some amount of 2 crore. Huh?
Okay, around 2 CR. All right, we are clear with the question. Yeah. Can we connect with Hemant now? All right, Hemant, 10 years and 2 CR. Hemant.
Yes, Kavita. I think it was very important to know exactly what his time horizon was, because his portfolio is all equity portfolio and investing through SIP. So I think 10-year time horizon is good for someone to invest through SIP in equity fund. So I think as far as the strategy is concerned, this is perfect. If you look at the portfolio, I think there is a need to consolidate the portfolio because the SIP amount is 38,000. I think there are 10 funds in it. And what I see in the portfolio, if you analyze, that there is some amount of overlap. There are 3 mid-cap fund, right? There is a sector fund there. And I think a couple of funds which have not been doing that well. So I believe that in the same category, if you look around, you'll find a better quality funds than those. So I think the portfolio consolidation has to be done from 2-3 different factors. One is to reduce the number of funds and also to kind of weed out the funds that have not been doing well and avoid any kind of overlap in the portfolio. So if I begin with Nippon India Small Cap, you can continue with that fund. There is 10,000 invested in that. There is Motilal Oswal Mid Cap. If I look at Motilal Mid Cap as a category, I think Motilal Mid Cap is the front runner for quite some time. You can continue with that. There are 2 other mid-cap funds there. So one is Axis Mid-Cap. So I believe that it should discontinue the SIP and Axis Mid-Cap. And the 2,000 can be added to Motilal Oswal Mid-Cap, wherein the total investment will be around 7,000. Then there is HDFC Flexi Cap, where is investing 5,000. And there is also a blue chip fund, which is Kotak Blue Chip. Again, considering the fact that HDFC Flexi Cap has a very heavy bias towards the large cap, so I think there is some kind of overlap. Maybe amount that is being invested in Kotak Blue Chip can be added to Flexi Cap, which is again will be 7,000. There is Invesco Multi Cap Fund. I think Multi Cap is a great category for someone who's investing for 10 years, where is it? He's investing 3,000 rupees. Couple of funds. One is HDFC Defense, which is, I feel that for someone like him, sector fund should not be there in the portfolio. And then there is Murray Large Cap. Again, there is overlap, and I believe that there are better funds in that. So the 4,000 which is being invested in these two can be added to Invesco Multicap, where he will have 7,000. I am recommending one new fund which is not in this portfolio, which is in the large and mid cap category, which is Bandhan Core Equity. So the money which is being invested in Edelweiss Mid Cap, because we already have now 7,000 in Motilal Oswal Mid Cap and Quant Small Cap, where is investing 2,000, and we already have Nippon India Small Cap, where is investing 10,000. So that 7,000 can be added, can be invested in Bandhan Core. So with this, we will have 5 funds in the portfolio, and I think the right kind of exposure to different market segments as well as strategies.
All right. Do we still have Preet on the phone line with us? Preet, do you want to ask any other question to Mr. Hemant?
I am there. So I just want to check, Mr. Hemant, thank you very much for the guidance. I just want to summarize once. Nippon, you said is fine, the go and get. You said Motilal, we have to exit with Axis and go to Motilal. I have another mid-cap in my portfolio, which is Edelweiss mid-cap to 5,000. Will that be fine?
No, Preet. What I said was there are three mid-cap funds in your portfolio. So what we said is the 2,000 that you're investing in SS mid-cap can be added to Motilal Oswal mid-cap, and that 5,000 which you're investing in Edelweiss mid-cap, we said to invest that in Bandhan Core Equity, which is a larger mid-cap.
All the best, Preet. We'll move on, and we have Pradyuman Tiwari on the phone line with us from Madhya Pradesh. Hi, good evening. How are you doing, Pradyuman?
Hello, good evening, madam. I'm fine.
Thank you so much for sending us your question. Pradyuman, the funds that you have in your portfolio are Motilal Oswal Large and Mid Cap, Motilal Oswal Mid Cap, Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, Axis Small Cap, and you are also stepping up your SIP by 10%. You want to add 50 lakh lump sum. And you have given the current portfolio value, which is 1,40,000, 18 years of withdrawal of 2 crores, that is for your child education, and later on you need 2 crores after 25 years for child marriage, and then remaining amount is after 30 years for your retirement. I just want to understand any particular corpus, like how you have tagged in 2 crores for your child education and child marriage, any particular figure for your retirement, or you already have a source of income after retirement that you have sorted for yourself?
Ma'am, actually, I'm a government employee. So I will be having an NPS account, and through that I will be having a pension and lump sum.
Sure.
So
All right.
after my child's marriage, I will just want to my money to grow in a share market.
Sure. How old are you, Pradyuman, now?
I'm 34.
All right. Okay, Hemant, how can we help him? He really needs to beef up his investment amounts, which I think he's doing it by 10% step up.
Yes, Kavita. His current SIP is 22,000, and he's committed to kind of step up the SIP amount by 10% every year. That obviously will make a huge difference to the kind of corpus he will be able to create over a different time horizon, because there are 3 goals that he has. The first goal is for the child education, where the time horizon is 18 years. And then second is child marriage, which is 25 years. And for his own retirement, the time horizon is 30 years. So if you look at the first 2 goals, now the 5,000, and I think he's also mentioned that he wants to maybe invest 50 lakh lump sum. Correct? So what we are looking at here is that 5,000 rupees SIP with the commitment to step up that by 10% every year, and 15 lakh out of 50 lakh to be allocated to the first goal, which is child education. He should be able to accumulate a corpus of 2 crore. Then for the marriage again, I think he wants to accumulate a corpus of 2 crore over the next 25 years. There, another SIP of 5,000 with the commitment to step up SIP by 10% will get in there. So I think the first 2 goals will be fine. For the third goal, because the total SIP is 22,000, there will be like 12,000 rupees SIP, again with a step up of 10% for the next 30 years. And the remaining 35 lakh of the lump sum that he intends to invest now will be allocated to the retirement goal. And the best thing is that because he has 30 years and he's also committed to increase that amount by 10%, he will be able to accumulate a corpus of around 20 crores, right? So I think it's going to be a huge sum for him. In addition to that, he said he's also investing in NPS and all that, because the important factor here is, Kavita, 30-year time horizon and the commitment to step up SIP amount by 10%. So I don't see any problem that he will have in achieving his targets. One recommendation I'm giving for the portfolio, instead of Axis Small Cap, you can consider Bandhan Small Cap, wherein a part of lump sum can be invested. And this 50 lakh lump sum can be allocated to 15 lakh in Motilal Oswal Large and Mid Cap. Again, one of the best fund in that category. Then there is Motilal Oswal Mid Cap, where it can invest 10 lakhs. And then Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, where it can invest 15. And in Bandhan Small Cap, which I'm recommending in place of Axis Small Cap, he can add 10 lakh. So this is how 50 lakh can be allocated. And it is very important to align your SIP investment to a different goal. And that is what I've tried to explain here, how it can be done. So I don't see any problem if he continues his process uninterruptedly for the defined time horizon, and if he continues to increase his SIP amount by 10%, he should not have any problem in achieving his target. In fact, like I mentioned earlier, for retirement, he will be able to actually accumulate very large corpus.
All right. Do I have Pradyuman on the phone line with me, Pradyuman? Any other question that you want to ask?
No, ma'am. That's all that I wanted to ask.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for sending us your question. And let's take a quick break, and post that we'll be joined by our other viewer, and we'll be also focusing on questions sent by email or even on YouTube. So a quick break, and let's continue our viewer query session post that. Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show, and we are answering your portfolio queries live. I'm joined by Hemant Rustagi. And Hemant, let's take our next question, which is from Vidya. And this question is sent by email. And she says that she started an SIP in Kotak Multicap 5000 Axis Nifty. And she is also doing a lump sum of almost 1 lakh in Parag Parikh dynamic asset allocation. And she's invested in Parag Parikh ELSS fund also. And she's holding Parag Parikh liquid fund also, and she's doing a STP via that fund. She wants any idea regarding asset allocation and suggestions for any correction if needed. Right now she has 30% in equity, 70% in debt, and she's got cash, but then she's planning to change the allocation wherein she wants to put 80% in equity. The goal is to invest for almost 15 to 20 years.
Yes, Kavita, let me begin with the time horizon. She mentioned that her time horizon is 15 to 20 years. I think it's always important when you invest for such a long time to have a fix on what exactly your time horizon is going to be. That's because whatever corpus she's going to accumulate till, let's say, completion of 15 years, even if I assume annualized return of 12%, will double in the next 5 years. So I think that will make a huge difference to the kind of corpus she can create. So it's always good to know what exactly is your time horizon, because then accordingly you can plan how much you need to invest to get there. That's the first thing. Second, I think her decision to change the asset allocation, I think, is perfect, because when you're investing for 15, 20 years, and if your portfolio is only 30% in equity, you will struggle to beat inflation. So it's a very good decision that she has taken to increase the allocation to at least 80%. I believe that if she follows a goal-based investment process where the long-term goals are separated from medium-term and the short-term, she can even go higher in equity allocation than what she is trying to. So it can be even more than 80%. So I think it's a good decision that she has taken. It will really help her. If you look at the funds in the portfolio, the Kotak Multicap, again, I think one of the best multicap, and even the index fund, Axis Nifty 100, I think good choices. She can continue with that. She can also continue with the ELSS fund. Now the issue is there are two investments in Parag Parikh. One is in dynamic asset allocation fund, and the second is in the liquid fund from where she is investing through STP. Now, when you're investing for 20 years, obviously, I don't think it's a great idea to invest in a dynamic asset allocation fund. But considering the fact that she wants, maybe if she's very sure that she wants around 20% in equity, so obviously in debt, then some investment will have to be done in these kind of funds. So my recommendation would be that the 4 lakh which is invested with the Parag Parikh can be invested in two hybrid funds. One can be a balanced advantage fund, which has a slightly higher allocation to equity than a typical balanced advantage fund, which is HDFC Balanced Advantage. You can invest 2 lakh there. And the second can be Nippon India Equity Hybrid Fund, where she can invest 2 lakhs. So this is how I think broadly she can achieve her asset allocation of 80-20. But like I said earlier, I believe that the allocation to equity can be even higher because the time horizon is around 15 to 20 years.
Okay, let's take Saket's question, and this question is also via email, and he's 47 years old, and he wants to create a retirement corpus, and the amount that he's looking for is actually 6 crores by the age of 60. He's got SIPs, the total value of his SIP is almost 1.1 crores. So he's got Access Global Innovation Fund, Access Growth Opportunity, ICICI Pru Multi Cap, Parag Parekh Flexi Cap, Quant Active, SBI Magnum, SBI Small Cap, Tata Digital India, Franklin India Flexi Cap, Franklin US Opportunities, Mira Asset Focus, Mira Asset Greater Consumption Fund, and Mira Asset Large and Mid Cap, again a mid cap separately of Mira Asset. And so how much SIP amount should be increased in order to achieve his goal is what is his question.
Well, Kavita, is SIP amount totaling like in 14 funds is around 1,90,000. The accumulated corpus is around 1 crore, 1 lakh. The target is around 6, and the time horizon is 13 years. So if we consider the SIP of 1,90,000 and the accumulated corpus of 1 crore, which will continue to grow for the next 13 years. So even if we assume the annualized return at 12%, he should be able to accumulate a corpus of around 11.5 crore, which is going to be almost like double of what he is trying to accumulate. So I don't see any problem in achieving his target. So he should continue this process. There are 14 funds now. Obviously, the investment also is 1,90,000, but I believe that there is some scope of consolidation, mainly from the point of view of avoiding any kind of overlap, and also weeding out some of the funds which have not been doing well, and there are better options available. So a couple of options that I think you can consider in terms of realigning the portfolio. There is one sector fund, one thematic fund. Again, my view is that someone who is not going to monitor the portfolio very actively, someone who may not be well versed with how to time entry and exit from a sector fund, should avoid that. So there is Tata Digital, there is Mirai Asset Great Consumer Fund, where he's investing 10,000 each. So these, I think he should reconsider his investment there. And there are a couple of funds where I believe that there are better options available: SBI Small Cap, SBI Mid Cap, Mirai Focus, and Mirai Mid Cap. In all, this is like around 75,000, which can be reallocated. So, what I'm recommending to him is that he can look at Motilal Oswal Mid Cap, because I don't see a mid cap fund. Once we stop in SBI, there is no other mid cap fund. You can look at Motilal Oswal Mid Cap, 20,000 rupees. Bandhan Core, which is again a large and mid cap fund, 20,000, and a multi cap fund, which is Kotak Multi Cap, 25,000. And the remaining 10,000 can be added to one of the existing fund, which is Access Growth Opportunity, which again is in the category of large and mid, but some investment is also done overseas. So some money in the existing fund, add 3 funds, we would reduce the number of funds, consolidate the portfolio, and also have better allocation to different strategies and segments. But as I mentioned earlier, I don't see any problem why he should not be able to achieve his target.
Okay, I think that will be all on the show today. Thank you so much, Hemant, for being on the show and helping our viewers with their financial portfolio queries. And for all the viewers, I'm going to leave you with our WhatsApp number and email ID. Do send across your portfolio questions, and we'll get them answered live by our experts. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.